Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, it's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Pick it up, pick it up. Pick it up. Check. Lucky, go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. Back to throw. Lacey, this one complete to Mecole Hardman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Throwing on first down. Lacey. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. And he'll give it here to his running back. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. And they will finally get to him down at the Bengals 18. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game. And it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
That play gets them 6 yards and sets them up with a 1st and goal. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But
it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. DJ Chark, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive.
You know, as a head coach, you can't hide everything from your team. They know that people think that they're not supposed to be on the field with them. So they designed a heck of a game plan, didn't they? Nice fast start, get out after them, and maybe let everyone know that they're here to compete.
And get this home crowd behind them early as well.
Yeah, that's a huge part of it, isn't it? Because if you can get the home crowd involved, sometimes you can ride that wave, and that gives you a little added pep.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Ready. 18 Gator.
They'll run on first down. Stevenson. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
On the set. Watch 98, 6-6. Pull it high.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. An ideal start defensively. They already have the touchdown. Now they get the stop.
Just like they drew it up on the chalkboard. Does that sound dated? Right? Am I out of touch a little bit?
It's all right.
All right, grease board, heck, computer, exactly what you want, though. Score on your first drive, stop them on the first drive defensively.
And now out comes Minnesota. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
A quick throw out to Hardman on the perimeter. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off. All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on 3rd down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on 3rd downs all year long. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Hamilton, he's going to rifle one deep left side. And he slings one that's incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Hamilton. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this 1st down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Line of scrimmage is the 8 on 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's fielded at the 45. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
It's a gain of 35. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal.
Here we go. 60 Pittsburgh.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
To throw on third down. Lacy hit. He lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bengals getting set to go. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. On first down, it's Stevenson. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Looking to throw on second down. Hamilton. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a third and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Back to throw. Hamilton. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be second and goal.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fit.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Bengals have taken the lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat, make sure he touches it a few times, but as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 15 he goes. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Over the middle, it's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. On second down now, it's Stevenson. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
Ready up. 50 seconds to Mike. Exit. Get it.
From the gun on third down, Hamilton. And it's caught. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
30 base.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here are the Bengals set to take over. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Hamilton. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Hamilton. He's got Mason complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll try the left side. Stevenson stiff-armed him. It's a Bengal 1st down, a pickup of 11.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 43. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 20-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Looking to throw. Hamilton. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Watch the safety. Topper! Now.
Here we go on 4th down. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. Able to convert on 4th to bring up 1st and goal. That's a big 3 yards right there.
Set. 30 base. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. Check. 80 weapon. Ready.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Now, after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They come out here in the I. 2nd and goal from the 1. They'll try to run this one in. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Point after, right down the middle.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Let's go.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the 2nd half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half. But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Mecole Hardman, the intended target. 3rd down here. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first, it's good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage. I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. The throw over the middle taken in. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. They'll run on 1st down. It's Stevenson. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And the return will stop right around the 25. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and say, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Vaughn, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Operating from the gun. Lacey completes it to Hardman. And this will not get close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the 26. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. On 4th down, Lacey, he's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
On 1st down, Vaughn. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And finally out of bounds, just a few yards short of the goal line at the 3.
Well, that's the danger of throwing the ball to that part of the field, because if it does get picked off, as we just saw there, they can run a long way. They're actually fortunate they didn't give up a touchdown in addition.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And that rushing touchdown, his fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings now heading onto the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Lacey. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
The Vikings on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Back to throw. Lacey. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. On the defensive side of the ball, that's the definition of frustrated. You get them to 4th down, and then you allow a chunk play like that in the passing game.
Almost felt as if that play was drawn up in the dirt on the sideline. They pulled that from a game plan that wasn't this game, and they still made it work.
Looking to throw. Lacey. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Now, let's not forget that was all set up by the 4th down conversion earlier in the drive.
Would have been a complete letdown if the drive doesn't culminate this way, wouldn't it? If you're going to go for it on 4th down, your intention is to make sure you get a touchdown out of the drive, and that's exactly what they did. Converted, and then converted a 2nd time for 6 points.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Stevenson, and they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be second down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Just like that.
They'll try and run for it. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and minicamps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go. Get it.
To throw again, Hamilton. His throw caught right around the 6. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. This is caught. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one.
Go now. 30 base. 57. I'm coming. Ready?
From the gun on 3rd down. Hamilton. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And nothing but daylight ahead. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. They'll run on first down. Stevenson. Now a timeout called for by the defense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Stevenson, and a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Down. 70. Indy. Check. Crunch. Protein spill.
Back to throw. Hamilton. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. In for the score. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point attempt to come here. And the lead is up to 18 now. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. And he will find his man on the outside. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Mecole Hardman the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Lacy. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. From the gun on 3rd down. Lacy. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Looking to throw. Lacy, wide open receiver, complete. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play.
You don't want none, baby. You don't want none.
On 1st down, Lacy, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Bengals, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.